25 is now called to order. Please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975, Chapter 231. This agenda is complete to the extent known and was sent to the Trenton Times and the Trentonian newspapers, posted on the first floor bulletin board in City Hall, filed in the City Clerk's office, and posted on the City of Trenton website. Formal action will be taken. Roll call. Vice President Edwards.
Present.
Councilwoman Feliciano has been excused from this meeting. Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Present.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
I was supposed to say Joe too.
We see Councilwoman Frisbee is present and pinned and is here virtually. Councilman Harrison. Councilman Harrison, thank you. Councilwoman Williams.
Present y presente.
Council President Gonzalez.
Presente.
Myself, Brandon Garcia, Municipal Clerk, present. Legislative Counsel, Mr. Edward Kaloji. And City Attorney West Bridges. Thank you very much. And Madam President, if you like at this time, I could read the invocation.
Yes, please.
Almighty God, who holds the fate of man and nation, we most humbly beseech thee to bless this our city, these deliberations, and these thy servants, that they may act with wisdom and understanding for the good of our community and thy greater glory. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. And Madam President, at this time, I believe we are at public comment for agenda items only. If I could have the clipboard for agenda items, docket items only. And to the public comment for docket items only will be in reference to any docket item that you wish.
Nothing new. Oh.
And it is confined only to docket items. There is no one listed for docket items only, Madam President. We can move on if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay, moving right along, Madam President, it's my understanding that the administration as well as the council would like to hold an executive session at this time, and the purpose of that executive session will be contract negotiations regarding the sale of city properties.
Yes, please.
Okay, Madam President, if you'd like, could you please ask for a motion to go into executive session or thus approve Resolution 25-253?
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And to the solicitors, do we anticipate a vote coming out of executive session at this time? No vote anticipated. Thank you very much. All right, shall we? Hello?
Hey, just want to make sure that you can hear me once you get back. I see you on, but I don't hear anybody there. You'll be able to hear me. Okay.
This will go to echo, so I'm just going to take it to Zoom feed.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Councilwoman
I
Frisbee, can you hear
I'm
me
gonna
now?
hang up from here.
Yes, so I'm. Okay. Yep. Okay. On your call, Madam President.
May we have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, at this time, I believe, if you'd like, you can ask for a approval of, well, let's start with approval of the minutes for May 6, 2025.
May we have a motion to approve May 6th minutes, please?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams. Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve communications and petitions and reports.
May we have a motion to approve communications and petitions?
So
And report-
moved.
And reports.
Second.
Thank you. That was moved by Frisbee and second by,
Harrison.
thank you. Roll call, Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Excuse me.
And I believe that brings us to ordinances for second reading and public hearing. Ordinance 25-020, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 36 Southern Street and identified on the city tax map as Block 1102, Lot 21 pursuant to NJSA 40A 12-13B5 to Salam Rutherford for the sale price of $3,000.
May we have?
Are there any, I'm sorry,
Madam
Go ahead.
are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve 25-020?
Madam President?
Councilwoman Felice.
Yes.
Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes, I just wanted to state for the record that I do appreciate the explanation that we were given today with regards to these properties and how the city will be proceeding to make these sales fair. I did announce to my colleagues that I will be voting the same way as these properties that are in second reading are not or have not been applied to the new system that and criteria that we will be utilizing for the sales of properties moving forward. But I am satisfied with how the city will be proceeding in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can move to the vote. Mr. Garcia, please.
Do we
So
have a
moved.
motion to approve?
I thought we did.
So moved.
No, we went directly into discussion.
Yes,
Mo-
we did not motion.
Who's the motion?
Me.
Thank you, Harrison. And second?
Williams?
Thank you. Roll call, Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Abstain.
Noted. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-21, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 23 Summer Street and identified on the city tax map as Block 4004, Lot 47, pursuant to NJSA 40A12-13B5 to Jean Laverin for the sale price of $2,500. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Abstain.
Noted. Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-25, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 35 Montgomery Place and identified on the city tax map as Block 2205, Lot 5, pursuant to NJSA 40A1213B5 to Sheldine Millington for the sale price of $1,500. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-028, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 155 Houghton Avenue and identified on the city tax map as Block 21601, Lot 15, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Elba I. Colomb for the sale price of $2,500. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Abstain.
Noted. Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-58, ordinance, excuse me. Ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 257 and 255 Walnut Avenue and identified on the city tax map as Block 27601, lots 14 and 15 pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Samuel Robinson for the sale price of $20,000. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-059, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 447 Parkway Avenue and identified on the city tax map as Block 35002, Lot 4, pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Joshua L. Baker for the sale price of $2,500. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Recused?
Noted. Ordinance 20, motion carried. Ordinance 25-60, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 294 Rutherford Avenue and identified on the city tax map as Block 4403, Lot 11 pursuant to NJSA 481213C to Micah Properties LLC for the sale price of $5,000. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettner,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-61, ordinance authorizing the sale of city-owned property commonly known as 942 South Clinton Avenue, 101 Mulberry Street, 31 and 35 Sanhecan Drive, 714 Stuyvesant Avenue, and identified on the city tax map as Block 16210, Lot 1, Block 22802, Lot 8, Block 34404, Lots 17 and 15, Block 6102, Lot 29, pursuant to NJSA 48-1213C to Sababu Development LLC for the sale price of $120,000. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettner,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-65, ordinance authorizing the acquisition of certain real property located at 218 Brunig Avenue, Block 22802, Lot 25, Trenton, for $110,000 from Barrera Properties LLC pursuant to NJSA 48-12-3. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
6-5.
Roll call. Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 25-66, ordinance authorizing the acquisition of certain real property located at 222 Brunig Avenue, Block 22802, Lot 27, Trenton, for $110,000 from Vincent Padalino pursuant to NJSA 40A-12-3. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May we have a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Got it. Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, we've reached the point of resolutions this evening. I will note that there is a walk-on resolution listed should you choose to accept it. And that walk-on will be numbered 25-254. And it's up to you if you'd like me to read that resolution into the record.
Yes, please.
Certainly. Resolution 25-254. Resolution authorizing a payment to Chubb Insurance of New Jersey, 500 Ross Street, I-54-0455, Pittsburgh, PA, 15262, for property insurance premium in an amount not to exceed $594,929. And Madam President, if there are any items that you or the council wish to extract from potential consent agenda for questions, if you would like to list those.
Any questions?
If there are no questions,
No
Madam
questions?
President, if
Yes.
you'd like
Council
to,
President, just, what is this resolution number for the walk-on?
25254, you said, Mr. Garcia?
correct.
Thank you.
25254. You have questions? Looks like none, Mr. Garcia. Looks like we have a consent agenda.
My apologies. I am supposed to note as well, Madam President, the pulling of
Oh, yes,
Resolution 25-244.
correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
So 244 is being pulled by admin.
244 is being pulled by administration. The walk-on is 254, and that's the one I just introduced.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, are there any questions?
Madam President,
Yes.
I have another one, 252. That was on my desk.
I don't know what that is. Was that the
It's
executive
about
session?
about Trenton Waterworks, water filtration plant.
No, I don't know what that is.
I don't know where this came from.
252.
Is it another?
Ms. Garcia, you
if
know
this
what that
is
is?
an updated copy or?
She's saying she has something with 252. I don't see that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It was just separated, and I thought it was one of the walk-on.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah. I had it with my little, I was trying to organize my desk here.
Okay. It looks like we have no questions, Mr. Garcia.
If there are no questions, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve a consent agenda consisting of all the resolutions this evening.
May we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? So moved.
Second,
Actually, 1 second.
Noted.
Can I ask?
Go ahead for discussion.
Yeah, she has one.
So my understanding, unless I just missed this in discussion, is that the COPS grant, is that, we're partly
44?
talking about that?
244?
Yes.
That's the one being pulled.
That's what I thought. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
I don't know who seconded that. I know Chair.
I had a motion in a second. I had Figueroa Kettenberg for the motion, and I have Edwards for a second. Is that correct?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. And Madam President, on your call, I move to a vote.
Go to a vote.
Vice President Edwards, roll call. Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes?
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, at that time, I'm looking for first reading ordinances here, and I'm not seeing any. So that would mean that we can move to public comment. If I could have the public comment clipboard, please.
There's a today.
And Madam President, we have 3 individuals listed for public comment this evening to the public. Public comment will be 5 minutes for each individual. You may address any item that you wish. The council is not obligated to respond. Our first individual, please list your name and address for the record. And our first person listed is Mr. Victor Irizarry.
Hold on, let me find my stuff. Good evening, Mr. Ozari. Can you press the button, please, love? Thanks.
Yeah, I'm Victor Irizarry, 19 Moreland Avenue, Trenton, New Jersey. My main concern usually is, well, it still is, always going to be, is the war. Well, let me pick it up. The war of good and evil, as I've said before, is between 2 ancient tribes on the planet Earth. That one comes from or through the planet Earth itself, and it becomes, people in the bloodline connected to God himself, whatever God is. And then the other one is an ancient tribe. The first one, the representative of the first tribe I've just mentioned is the tribe Shabazz from Africa. And they are truly the original Arabs of the planet Earth or the Middle East of 50,000 years ago, which migrated to Africa after a dispute with the other religious leaders or imams of the Middle East, sometimes referred to as scientists, which makes it sound crazy. So there was a dispute 50,000 years ago, plus years, where the tribal leader, Shabazz, after he was informed that his people would suffer as it was foretold in the future, and in disagreement, he left Mecca and traveled the planet Earth and settled at a continent, or they would call Africa, the dark continent. All right, so it was Africa. And Africa is a name that came from so-called a European conqueror that went from Europe down to that dark continent, conquered it, and his name happened to be African or Africanus or something to that effect, so the area was called Africa. point I'm making is that the Africans from Africa are the original Arabs of the planet Earth, of the Middle East, 50,000 years ago. Now, the other one is the tribe of Yaqub from Europe, and that's they represent the devils of the planet Earth. And this battle began then when this new tribe coming up and challenging the old tribe was the tribe of God himself. And that's been going on till now. And that involves and has to do much with black on black crime in Trenton and USA. And of course, that involves every other race on the planet Earth that comes from black nation: brown, Japanese, Indians, red, Chinese, yellow, and Aryans, white, and then of course the Hispanics, which we are a combination of all the other races. What I'm making is that the remaining, so there was the 13th tribe is actually the tribe that's not properly identified in America anyway, of the original what are called free labor slaves of 1555 to 1619. Now, they are the members of the 13th tribe. That number 13 is supposed to be so mysterious that there's no true identification of who they are, but they are the African Americans of the original ones that got here, that came to America in a ship called Jesus in 1555 to 1619. 1619 are British or European black slaves, or owned by the Europeans or Britain and so forth from Europe. Now, the problem here is that war that began with Shabazz and Yaqub is being fought now here in America, but it's not really known that the tribe, the tribe of Shabazz, the African Americans represent God himself and the bloodline of God from the planet Earth, are endangered or are being attacked and murdered by the tribe Yaqub, which also be black. And in the same process, during the slave trade process and so forth, and transatlantic trade slaves and so forth, we all mixed. And then, of course, the other races got involved in the slave trade, and at the islands, which was a drop-off station, I call transition station, like Puerto Rico and Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and so forth, drop-off points. There was a mixture there, and we are here in North America all together. So what I've noticed is that there's a lot of comment made by people who are mixed blood from Europe and America, black, and attacking each other. And every time the righteous, regardless of you talking about all the races together are righteous, when we make progress, however we make it, this side always knocks it, and they seem to take side with the dominant authority in America, which we all know, if you know scripture a little bit, that it's corrupt from the White House all the way down to this building here. So there's a lot of corruption in all the governmental agencies. So what I'm saying is that in order to fix this in America, black on black crime, you got to deal with God and what's really happening in the Bible and the Quran is God, the war of good and evil, God and the devils. So law enforcement can't do their job because they're infiltrated, the military is infiltrated, business, everything's infiltrated. So we have to stand strong in what we believe is right and do what's right by the positions that we take as in government. Now, that's to say that the preachers and pastors and imams and so forth are not doing their job by truly explaining to the people once you leave office and go to church on Sunday what's really happening on the planet Earth so you can come and do your job correctly. That's what I'm
Keisha Craig.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
The reason why I'm here today is because I grew up in the North Ward. Since 2021, I've been actively trying to purchase my family home.
Can you just state your name and address, please? For us?
I'm sorry, this is my first time. Keisha Craig, 225 New Trenton Street, Ewing, New Jersey, 08638.
Thank you.
I grew up in the North Ward, and since 2021, I've been actively trying to purchase my family's home. Recently, I submitted an application to purchase our family home, as well as my bank statements, and I also hired a contractor. The city of Trenton allowed me to go into the property. I thought I was on my way, and I was going to be able to purchase my family's home. Unfortunately, I received an email telling me that the property has been dedicated to the Trenton Housing Authority, Resolution 23511, dated November 2nd, 2023. Again, as I stated, I've been actively trying to get my family's home since 2021. Any avenue, big or small, that will allow me to move forward in purchasing and restoring my family home. I need to know, how can a resolution be amended? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Keisha.
Tanetta Howard.
Hi, Tanetta Howard, 206 Farragut Avenue, Trenton, New Jersey. Madam President, City Council, I was before you last week and before you again this week. I just want due process. I'm aware that you guys want the building back, and I don't have a problem with giving it back. I really don't. But I want due process. And in this right here, it says that 3 months, anybody who's in a city-owned property has 3 months to move out. And I'm not given that. I'm given to July 11th, which is unfair to the children, and it's unfair to me because it's not due process at all. The second thing is, I do not know why me moving out the building, someone from the health department had to call and have my license snatched. That wasn't okay either. All of this could have been a simple conversation. That's it. I don't understand why things are made harder than what they have to be. I am grateful for being in that building for 9 years. The wonderful things I did over there, the children that I helped, the school that I'm still contacted with and still doing things with. I'm going to continue to do those things. This does not stop me from doing those things. But when you try to destroy a person's reputation by calling to the health department and getting their license snatched for not the right reasons, it's not okay. It's not. I would not do that to anyone. A due process, that's all I asked. That's it. And this right here states that you can give me that. Only City Council can give me that. And I did forward this to everyone so that you have this for due process. The children will continue. If I have to be in the park with my children, they're going to get some reading and some math in. They're going to do their timetables. They're going to go on some trips because they've been paid for already. They're going to continue to do that. No matter where I am, I will not leave them by the wayside. It's just unacceptable. We do that too much. They have parents that do that to them. I will not do that to them. If I have to meet right here in front of City Hall with my kids and get on a bus, that's what I'm gonna do. Because they need to be somewhere this summer. I have parents who's leaving their kids in the house with a phone. I can look at them on the phone. No, that's unacceptable. Anything can happen before you get there. So all I'm asking for is for you guys to put this on for a vote for due process. That's it. I'm not asking to stay in that building for no longer than my due process. And it gives the other NAAA time also to look and get a place for them to meet. It gives the older women dance team a chance to get somewhere and to meet. That's all we asking. These people put y'all up in those seats. And they put you up there for a reason because they trusted y'all. And they still trust you. Hell, I still trust you, though. I'm just not that type of a person. I'm really not. And that's what I'm asking you guys to do, is to give me due process, please. I thank you. And everybody have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Ms. Howard.
And Madam President, those are all the individuals I've listed for public comment. You may start civic comment with whomever you like.
We can start, Councilwoman Williams.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll be brief. This coming month, we will not have a Northwood CPAC meeting. We will be resuming in August as we've been able to work out dates. So we'll again be the third Wednesday in August, which let me give you the date. I apologize. Will be on August 20th. Other than that, I just want to say I've been really happy to see particularly Shade Tree and Division of Natural Resources under Interim Director Paul Harris doing a great job trimming trees, particularly with all these storms that we've had. I think that's an investment that's paid off. So we've had less trees going down. Also, folks having their cars damaged, at least it's been reported so far to me. And I just want to continue that, and I hope whatever our transitional aid ends up from the state, that we'll be able to devote some monies to that, or hopefully maybe obtain additional monies for things like that in the city, because there's a lot of areas that still need tree management, as well as being able to see all the new trees planted in downtown area, and particularly around Old Trenton section. It's been really gratifying to see that too. And then I just want to commend our Public Works Department for all the work that they've been doing with cleaning up with so many storms happening, but also getting us back on the road of paving our streets after a long period of time. Really appreciate that. And I know that's something that Director Onateri and the department very much wanted to do. And I know there's more demands that my colleagues and I request for different alleys and streets, and hopefully we'll be able to meet them this year. Other than that, I just like to say, let's all try to keep positive. Let's keep informed. Let's all work together. Please have a great summer. Please be safe. And I hope to see everyone back here next month, whether they're on video or here in City Council with us. God bless.
Thank you, Councilwoman Williams. Councilman Harrison?
I would first like to start off and thank Ms. Tanetta Howard with Briggs Library, Howard's Healthy Choice. She's done for many years. She's been helping these kids. So I hope there's something we can do, whether it's this location or another location, but we can, because these kids really rely on, and it brightens their future up. So it would be great to see if we can do something to help the next generation of Trentonians. I too would like to thank Paul Harris and his wonderful staff with Shade Tree. They've been out there working hard. While these guys are out there paving, they're picking up the trash. Thank you, Wally. I would like to thank the Trenton United Family Foundation, Vince's group. They did a community cleanup, 475 Lamberton Street this past Saturday, were out there. All the people were out there volunteering, did a wonderful job. They were giving out fruits and vegetables to the community. They had pizza for everybody who helped clean up the neighborhood. Also, would like to thank Craig and his wonderful staff at Art All Night at the War Memorial Building. It was a wonderful event. And I hope we can continue doing Art All Night, because I think it's an unbelievable amount of talented people in this great city to see artwork that is being sold here and it's being shared all around the world. With that, thank you very much and have a blessed evening.
Thank you, Councilman Harrison. Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Thank you, Council President. I too just want to say that I'm grateful for the CPACs that I've been able to have and for the directors who have been showing up for my Southward CPACs. My CPACs will not resume until September 26th to be exact, at St. Bartholomew's Church at 5:30 p.m. till 7:30. And I also want to shout out the sanitation department, but I want to say that it's continually problematic in the South Ward, and I'm sure in the North Ward as well. We have Tuesday, Friday trash pickups, and residents continually put out their trash on a Friday holiday. That is extremely problematic, and I'm just letting the public know that I have been suggesting citations and fines for these individuals that continually, against ordinances, are putting their trash out inappropriately. I know the city gives out something at the beginning of every year about what the holidays are, and I know things float on social media. We can certainly work to figure out other ways to educate the public about trash days. It is a quality of life issue, and nobody should have to sit by rotting, smelly, hot trash for a week or more. And it's not fair for the sanitation department to have to continually come out on off days just to try to clean up these situations. So I want to shout out the sanitation department for doing their best on the days after holidays when trash has been put out ahead of time. And so the public knows, if you are a senior citizen in the city of Trenton, you can get a free trash can from the city of Trenton. And we are working, and I'm sure my council colleagues would go along with this. We're working to try to get trash cans for every household in the city of Trenton eventually. Hopefully we can find monies in the budget for that. And that is just something that we're floating, that we're hoping to do to try to solve some of these issues of ripped up trash bags and the like, that is just causing all types of, issues, and it's completely unsanitary. And then finally, I just want to give my condolences to the police director and to Trenton Police Department for the passing of your colleague recently. We're all sad to see his untimely loss. And that is all I have. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Council Vice President.
Good evening, everyone. I don't really have too much to say today, but to have you forgot about Frisbee.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let her go.
I could come back.
Councilwoman Frisbee, my apologies. Do you have any civic comments?
Thank you, Council President. So yeah, I did have just a few things that I wanted to say. I wanted to say thank you to the directors for not working in silos. It's important that the city sees us, that we're working as one, and each department complements the other one. So from Director Paul Harris to Director Onateri to Director Minna Capelli, all the directors, how they're working together to make sure that the city is taken care of, is really making the difference in the community, one complementing the other. And they had a really rough job, as many of you know from last week, with all the trees that we had falling in the community. And I really do appreciate how the community got together and took care of one another. They actually, I saw folks out working to help bring their community back together, not just waiting on the city, realizing that we are restricted in the number of people who we have at our availability to help clean up. So the fact that we work together, folks came out with rakes, folks came out to help each other with power. And even I would be remiss if I did not mention Miss Ruth how I'm sorry, I can't call her name right last night, but Miss Ruth Carter. Thank you. Yes, as she helped out and opened up the centers to make sure that anyone who needed a cooling center needed to have power for their charging, have charging stations. Everyone just worked together amazingly, and I'm very appreciative of that. I did want to remind everyone that next Tuesday, I believe that it is the 8th, I will be having my West Ward Community Conversations at the same location, 5:30 p.m. at 600 Artiston, which is at the corner of Artiston and Hermitage Avenue. So I just want to make sure we are taking care. We are making sure that everyone knows that. When it comes to regards to what we're doing here, as far as our children are concerned, we want to be fair to our children. We want to make sure that we are taking care of them and that nobody's put out on the street. But we also need to make sure that we are adhering to the rules and regulations of the city. We're trying to get our city back in order, which is why we are making sure that all of the rules, what applies for one individual applies for all. And that's the point, even with us with the housing, no matter what it is that we're doing, we're trying to make sure that there is a blueprint for everybody to follow so that no one can say that no one has been discriminated against. With that, I think that's about all that I have. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you, I want to say I send my condolences again to Director Steve Wilson and his entire department. The funeral procession and the sending home ceremony for Officer Timothy Long was absolutely amazing. The love, the outpour from the surrounding communities as far as Newark, I saw there, even all the way up from north to south. It was absolutely beautiful display of love, and my thoughts and prayers remain with the Long family, from the children to all of them. And again, to our officers, we know that you're hurting, and it was a beautiful reflection of love when they all showed up the way that they did. So with that, let's keep moving forward together, Trenton. We're doing a good job. Let's continue in that vein. The little stains that are coming our way are less than the ones of the celebratory moments that we're having. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Frisbee. That was very well said. Council Vice President, my apologies, Council Vice President.
No worries, no worries. Again, I don't have much to say. I just echo the sentiments of some of my colleagues' remarks this evening. And I want to say thank you to the administration for all of the services that you guys have provided. I've received a lot of calls too and referred them over to the administration, and the responses were very timely. So I just want to say thank you. Other than that, have a good 4th of July. I will not be here. My first vacation of the year with my family, and I'm looking forward to it. But have fun and be safe and enjoy the festivities. Have a good night.
Council Vice President, no such thing as vacation if we can't all go. Good evening, everyone. Just want to thank everyone for being present, those who spoke and shared your concerns. Thank you to all of the departments, but I definitely wanted to also shout out our Public Works Department for making sure that the debris was cleaned up after the storm last week. I also want to shout out the Trenton Community Street Teams on the community barbecue that they did. It was really nice, the collaboration with the Wire radio station. To Director Harris for the beautiful renaming of the pavilion at Coweta Park for Miss Grace Crossland. That was beautiful. And everyone that participated and hosted the Pride events and the Juneteenth events, everything was lovely. I made it as many as I could. And also Director Harris, again, for opening up the pools early during the heat wave for our children to participate in the pool. I was one of them jumping into, so thank you so much for that. And just really quickly, also Art All Night was a beautiful display. So thank you for all of the hard work that goes into that every year. I do want to announce that July 16th is the next city stat meeting at 10 a.m. So if any residents have any concerns, you can come bring them directly to our directors at 10 a.m. July 6th here in the council chambers. As stated, Councilman Frisbee said everything very well about, just making sure that we have everything in order. Ms. Howard, I am sad that you have to go through these challenges, but hopefully we can come up with a resolve. And thank you so much to the Long family. It was a beautiful ceremony, and our prayers are always with the family and the police department. Thank you so much. May we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.